apparently the kids would say. I think being settled is just kind of common vernacular.
It's totally what the kids say.
I mean, sometimes the kids say the things that we say just because we share the same language.
You sure about that?
Now that I think about it, have I ever been sure about anything?
I've never been sure of anything in my entire life.
It's all just one big mystery.
I love the joys of voice acting. You can say dumb shit in the voices you do.
It's one of the greater parts of voice acting where you're just like, oh, my power, it grows.
It grows.
Unda has made
Anyway, here's
tea.
Wonderwall.
All is well in the world.
Yes. And I did see a little pop-up saying that we are live.
Yes, I had to refresh my nonsense, but I think we're rocking it. Rockin' sock'em
Rip.
robots.
Rock'em Sock'em Robots. I remember those fuckers.
Yeah, I remember the commercials at least. I don't remember what they
What?
look like.
Oh, sorry. Kylie is in the background sewing, and I just hear them go, "Ah, you bitch! You fucking broke it!" Like, what the fuck just happened?
Probably a needle turned on her. Them. Him?
Them.
Them, thank you.
That's annoying. Yeah. Kylie's gender is no, thank you.
Mood.
Yeah, it should be fine. It's gonna be on the face. It's not like a load bearing. It's not a load bearing seam.
That's good. It's a fashion seam.
What?
It's a fashion seam.
It's a fiction seam.
Like the Kingdom Hearts
It's for a
belts.
fursuit.
Yay!
Beautiful. Listen, we are nerds
Yeah.
of all varieties.
Yeah!
Or like considering the fact that I quite literally proposed to this motherfucker while dressed as Carcat. Um,
Yeah!
listen, one of these days you have to teach me how to do the Carcat voice because I want to be able to run around in cosplay just being a fucking shithead.
What
I
could be
mean,
better?
yeah. I mean, I have the Capri voice, but like, I feel like it needs to be more raspy to be Carcat.
And like part of what my sister does for her car cat voice, she does a lot less like grabble than me, but I can't mimic what it is that she does. But she's a lot more like, oh, fantastic! Isn't that just the most wonderful thing I've heard today? So it's a lot more about like tone variation in voice and
Yeah.
anger the whole way through, and that gets you a really stellar car cat.
You gotta be fucking thrilled. Absolutely bulge-tastic the entire fucking time. I just lost it at the end. Bulge-tastic. Why did I say that?
Well, I was translating it to human in my head, and I'm just like, ah, yeah, I had a dick-tastic night tonight, and everyone who knows me would be like, are you okay?
Are you alright? I've never been okay a day in my fucking life.
Never once. That'd be a bummer.
That was so good.
Unda says,
Carcat drama is just what I'm learning from this.
he is a little ball. He's in a glass cage of emotion.
Yes. Also, drinking tea when you have glasses is a fucking riot because it's like, ah, yes, lift cup up to face. All of a sudden, I can't fucking see.
Yep. We just have to deal with so many hazards.
But on the bright side, whenever I get enough lemon to kill a man to put into my water at restaurants, I don't need to worry about eye horror.
This is true.
And that's horror, not whore. I don't know what an eye horror would be.
Introducing Apple's latest product, the eye whore. Don't ask what it does. We put it in the name.
Not safe for work. What? I fucking know.
Unda says that they also have tea. I nearly put chili honey in it instead of regular honey, which would be interesting for the soothing my throat for the soothing throat
Oh,
effect that I'm looking for. I agree. I think that would have
that's how you get extra Carcat.
yes, extra crispy car cat. Unda would have had the true car cat voice.
Carcat. True cat.
True cat. Unlike all these fake
Okay.
car cats. Speaking of which.
Oh my god. I, I'm sorry, I can hear the dog going though. Oh, whoa,
Oh, wow, wow, wow.
oh, whoa. And
Yeah,
I think we've been live for 5 minutes, so they just get to listen to us be weird. Next, what are you doing?
that's how we do.
Just,
Like, anyone who signed up for this and was like, ah, yeah, I know these people, they're gonna, like, cut out whatever nonsense. They'll never speak to each other except for the words happening on the screen. That is not how we roll. That's
never
not the vibe.
each other ever. What do you mean? What rating? Teen.
Tea good.
Kylie, I don't know if you can hear them, but they're like, "What rating is this stream?" And I'm like, teen, because that's the rating of the fic. And I said, "Okay, I'll keep my mouth shut." I am both curious and terrified to know what you were going to say.
I mean, is it teen with how much we curse?
That's a solid point. You're allowed one fuck.
Oh, damn, we've already gotten there then.
To one singular fuck. Oh no.
Oh no.
Okay. And I think the first half I'm just being Matuna.
Yes.
Oh, I love my little crackhead.
He's so great.
I say little as if he isn't thousands of years old.
Yeah. True.
This fucker is older than Jesus.
Oh, Jesus.
Jesus. Silence. I am curious to know how old Matuna is, though. And what happened to his maker? I'm wondering what happened to his maker. Unda, if you're listening, we want the deets.
The
Spill the
deeds.
tea. Only don't spill your tea because that would be uncomfortable and unfortunate.
The Matina.
Matuna.
No, the tea about
It's
Matuna is the Matina. Alrighty. Ready to begin?
I am ready. Okay, am I starting off as narrator?
I do think that makes sense. Please let me know when you get tired.
Will do. One second, sorry. Your heart aches a little as you see her embrace a tearful Matuna. No one's ever wanted you to be part of the family like that. But Matuna helped bring you back. Told you that Cancre should have never treated you like he did. You put your finger back together with a kiss. It's nowhere near this reunion that you're witnessing, but it's something, isn't it? Isn't it?
You're really sure that he's safe?
Poor asks wearily, looking around at you. She's still speaking the other language. It's the one Silas used to speak.
I'm not going to hurt you.
You promise her these, and now they're all staring at you. Since when the fuck can you speak Aramaic? I don't even know what that voice was. It's almost crazy. My bad, G.
All good. Oh, sorry.
2 seconds.
I didn't hear the this part.
Okay, that's because I said it in a weird voice and I lost my shit. Since when the fuck is Aramaic? What's your next shit?
I think we're losing bits of you.
Oh,
Which is fun this early in the stream. Let's have you have us both disconnect and reconnect.
Okie dokie, artichoke.
Oops, gotta get there in time. Gotta restart. Hello.
Doo-doo.
Oh, better.
Hey, yo.
Nice.
Okay, so what all did you or did you not hear?
We could make it out, but it was just really like patchy.
Okay,
Like we
so
were
where do you want me
losing
to start again
vowels.
from?
I think just here.
Okay. Matuna asks in shock, but you just shrug.
I don't know if Karkat could speak that before, but I must admit I never asked.
Kanaya says with a frown.
Sorry. Unda says, call Satan Karkat for how we're losing bits of him.
Oh my god.
Fuck your emotions.
This, sorry, Kylie is asking me a question.
He,
Or is confused. This Karkat and this Fick lost bits of him. That's why he's a little fucking. And I just said call Satan me, Karkat with how we're losing bits of him. Now they get it. Sometimes you really do have to explain the joke.
it's
Okay,
true.
continue.
hmm I I have some of Kankry's memories. I've got some of them back anyway. He used to see Signless sometimes, talk to at him. Sometimes Signless would be watching you two when Kankry showed up, but I think Signless used to talk to him in this language. Maybe it was angelic. It's hard to remember.
You say, and a deep down part of you. Wait, no, that's Cankry that you can feel. He's judgmental. You're saying this because you're hoping they'll like you. Cankry wants you to be ashamed of that. Fuck Cankry, actually. If he like you more, then maybe you wouldn't want other people to like you so bad. Maybe having something like family within reach wouldn't make you feel like you're dying in the best way. Maybe if he'd been even a little better, then you wouldn't be in the situation. So fuck his thoughts on all matters, at all times and in all places.
Yeah! You remember my brother?
Kanaya asks you in a rush. No, his maker does. Karkad's just picking it up. What's he? What do you remember? Matuna asks in a careful voice.
Um, they have him locked up in a park. They act like it's because he's too holy to interact with, but it's because he kept fighting angels for being awful. It's not like they could fight back. He's signless.
You point out. Which just makes me think of Signless fist fighting angels. Rose would approve.
It would be such a great video game in this world.
Oh my god, it's just Signless fist fighting angels.
hmm
I'm here for it. Holy shit, babe. You're fist fighting angels in heaven? I'm not even surprised. Fuck, I love you. Matuna whispers to himself.
That's awful, locking him up. How is he?
Porum asks, her tone more serious than Matuna's was.
He seemed. I don't know. Kinkry didn't notice how he felt, but I'd feel sad like that. Lonely too. He didn't like Kankry. Kankry would just talk at him. He was supposed to be an improvement on Signless, to fix the things they didn't like about him. I'm everything Kankry took out because he didn't feel like I fit.
You explain.
He's an idiot then. Mother, before Karkat lost his memories, I used to feel that he was a little like Sign, or he would have liked him at least.
Kanaya tells her mother. What he did to make you was evil. And I'm pretty sure he took out any part that was like Zineless at all. Matuna hisses. Oh, my bad. My brain blanked for a second. It's like, oh yeah, I'm supposed to read that.
That's me.
That that hurts to hear. It doesn't hurt you, but it hurts to hear.
It hurts
You
skinkry.
want me to tell? Ooh, what happened?
So I was just, that was like my little aside of like, it hurts skinkry.
It hurts, Kanky. That's his fucking name now, Kanky.
Dog bless skinky.
No, goddamn Kanky. Kanky? Yeah, cranky Kanky. Okay. Do you want me to tell them what he called you? Matuna asks, though he lowers his voice a little. Now that not that it'll do any good. You shrug. You don't care about your name. Matuna tells them, and both Kanaya and Porum are horrified about the whole thing. What's worse is how obviously angry Matuna is when he talks about it. Furious that anyone could do this. Clearly, he thinks that angels are all awful, but he hadn't considered that angels, or any species, could be so cruel. You don't like hearing it, not because of how much he cares, but because it makes it obvious that clearly no one else did. Surely other people in heaven heard your true name, even if you usually just went by your spoken name like you remember Kankri doing. There's no way that people didn't know. No one did anything. Holding that idea in your head for too long makes you cold in a way that doesn't feel good for you. Those thoughts scatter when Porum tries to touch you. You jerk back out of reflex, but after a brief pause, she tries again. She touches your cheek and looks down at your face, now almost cradling your face in her palm.
I never understood her motives, and I didn't really get a say anyway. But I've seen what they do to people, how they abandon people. I know they can be cruel up there. You have the same look in your eye that Matuna used to, a little too on edge and wary of people.
She says in words that are slow and soft.
I don't really remember that much. I don't think it counts compared to Matuna.
You point out, knowing full well the agony that he went through when he fell and the reason for it. That's not how it works, man. You can't compare things like that, Matuna tells you.
Matuna seems to have taken you under his wing.
Corin begins, although you and Matuna both wince at the wording there.
And I'm inclined to trust his judgment on people. Kanaya speaks highly of who you were before, and that counts for a lot. I'm not working for heaven, if that's what you're afraid of. My maker's dead. He can't make me do anything, and I'd rip my heart out before I work for any of them again.
You hiss and mean it. Okay, Les, threats to your life, thanks. I went through a lot to get you back, and I'd be sad if you died again. Matuna interrupts.
It's not my first choice.
You point out. Fantastic, Matuna says.
What is?
Kanaya questions you suspiciously.
Assuming I couldn't just get out of that situation, kill God, I guess, and any angels trying to stop me.
You answer her, Matuna smacks his hands to his face. He's like, oh, okay, I guess I'll just kill God.
You know, casual. Well, now he really does sound like you after a few drinks, and signless. I always wanted grandchildren. This works out well after all. I think you are going to fit in just fine, Carcat.
Porum laughs lightly and leans down to hug you. That's not how this works, Matuna insists. But Porum isn't listening. You're not listening much either, as it happens. It's a nice hug, and it feels like everything you've ever missed.
Cute.
You're an asshole! Matuna shouts as he bursts through the door and flies across the room to knock Sullux off the sofa with a yell. I learned it from watching you. Celix retorts mockingly, his voice going up and down in this little seesaw of shitty attitude that is definitely a reference to something. You fucking meat board, Matuna snarls, and the two flit across the room playfully, scrapping with each other. You'd be more concerned for Celix if he wasn't giggling uncontrollably the whole time. The rest of your friends are sitting in the little kitchen in Dave and Celix's dorm. They're watching this fight between you with a mixture of bewilderment and despair.
I'm going to shut the door.
You announce and close it behind you. Thanks. I'm sure my neighbors already hate us, but if we could minimize that, it'd be great, Dave says with a sigh.
I should silence the room, lest anyone overhear us.
Rose says thoughtfully and moves to the door so she can place a silencing spell. Across the other side of the room, Selleck slams Matuna into the wall. The problem is that he does it a little too close to the TV and the whole thing wobbles. The play fight is immediately dropped as the two of them make sure that the TV is okay, and then Matuna starts heckling Sellex for the setup that he has over there. It all goes over your head, and you have a feeling that it would have done that even when you did remember everything. I like how these two fucking like tech gods are just like, ah, yes, I'm gonna beat the shit out of this guy. Wait, no, shit, the
The
TV.
TV! Yep, and I like how
Not
Carcat is
literal
like,
God,
I don't
TV.
remember much of anything, but I'm pretty sure my past self wasn't a fucking nerd. I'm a superior version of nerd. You're welcome.
Book nerd.
Book nerd.
Book nerd. Oh, how how was the library? Matsuna told us that things are fine and you were out all day, so I guess it went well, right? Dave asks.
I liked it.
You tell him honestly.
Where'd you get that scarf? It's really pretty, and it's definitely magical. Let me see that.
June asks and comes closer. You put your hand protectively on it. You're not letting her take it, but she can look.
What is that? It's like magic in cloth.
June murmurs as she peers at it. Rose is looking as well now.
It's for protection. I got it from my grandmother.
You say cheerfully, pleased that you can say it. Everyone is staring at you. Everyone except Matuna, who has his head in his hands. That's. Wait, 1 second. That was Dave. That's not how angels work. Or. Oh. Oh, fuck. Ah. Selig cackles suddenly at the end, and Matuna shoots him a dark look.
Kanaya and Matuna are brother and sister in law, and Kanaya's mother Porum was still close enough to come back to see him. She gave me this. It's the one she made for Kanaya that she'd modified to include me. She included me.
You add that last part in a tiny and delighted whisper.
But she can't actually be your grandmother.
June reasons.
Adoption counts. You don't have to be blood related to be family.
Jade points out quickly and a little defensive.
Also adopted Jade. I know that. But that means that someone has to have adopted Car.
June trails off and looks at the two demons across the room.
Now I know that Kanaya and Karkat were close before, and I know vampires still have family, whereas that's not a demonic concept. Solix made that very clear before. Yet Matuna is the one looking awfully like he would like the earth to part and swallow him whole.
Rose observes with a smile. Look, he's brand new and he's been through shit he shouldn't have. I know where he came from and I'm trying to help. Just because this keeps. Man, don't look at me like that. Matuna groans as you look over at him. Oh my. Hmm. Oh my fuck, that's like the saddest little hell pup face. You've never been able to say no to that. Solix cackles. People check out books at the library, dude, not angels. Actually, that's a lie. I've checked Carcat out at the library, but you one-upped everyone and, like, what, adopted the guy? Dave asks and incredulously. I can speak today.
Words.
You bury you bury your face in the fine green silk scarf. There's red threads woven in here and there, as well as gold ones from Matuna. You know this isn't how this works, but it also kind of is how it works. They all got hurt like you did, caught in the agony of divine plans that didn't care about the pain they caused. You knew Silas. You're not him, even though that's who Kankri was meant to be. Form said it was just as cruel to do a second time. She felt as hurt for you as she did for her own son. Matuna didn't make you. He's not even an angel anymore. That's not how either species works, but you still felt that connection when he reacted to your name, when he kissed your finger to help you heal it. You know you're not right at the moment, but you know that he doesn't want to hurt you, that he mentally compared you to Kanaya when she was a lot younger. He'd have killed to protect her when she needed it. He has done it, and he'd do it for you. You're not a kid, not Matuna's kid. Form isn't actually your grandma. That's not how this actually works. But it also is, because you say so. Forum met you, Kanaya already knew you. Matuna has been protecting you. Forum saw all of that and took this scarf that she made as a term of protection for her family. It's already suffered so much. Then she took a thread for you and wove you in. It's not how your species works, but it's exactly how family works. Matuna and Celix are defending themselves now, since Jade is pointing out that Matuna has called Celix baby a few times. Does that mean that you and Celix are related? That's dumb. No. Celix is insisting that it's not the same. Matuna looked out for him when he was a kid, but he didn't raise him at all. He was a friend, an adult that was safe to be around. Matuna just calls him baby because he's so much younger. Also because it really annoys Celix. Let the man have his now slightly unfortunately comedic bit, Rose, Dave says to Rose, who had also been questioning Celix on how Matuna sometimes called him baby.
I suppose you would know all about comedic bits that go in unfortunate directions, Dave.
Rose shoots back.
As the only trickster god around, I do have to side with the rule of funny here.
June nods sagely.
Annoying Solix is always very funny.
You agree. You're the only one that thinks that. Celix hisses at you. It is very funny, as you just said. What's funnier is that the look on everyone else's face says that they also find Celix's annoyance very funny, thus proving you're right and annoying Celix more. This is even funnier to you. So much so that you can't hide your grin behind your new scarf. Okay, well, while you were getting adopted, we got dinner. Come on, Dave says, gesturing towards the table. You eye the food and shrink back uncomfortably. Rose gives you a concerned look and tries to nudge you towards the table, but you duck away from her. I don't know. Would you eat something? Whoa, I didn't do the list. Am I losing my Celix?
Lost
With
in the Solix. Solix surrounds you.
lost in the sauce. I'm lost in the sauce. Would you eat? Would you eat something if I told you nothing dead was in it? Celix asks with a sigh. Yeah, I talked to him about that, so did Kanaya and Porum. I'm not sure if I helped or made it worse, Matuna admits.
Only eat things that can agree to it.
You say with a nod. That do agree to it, not just can. I sort of explained how food works, and now he's somewhere between vegan and cannibal. There's a weird logic to it, but Matuna explains.
Because you had vampires talking about eating blood, and Yes, okay, I can see how that happened.
Rose groans.
What about something that's just a whole ingredient, like a fruit or a vegetable as is?
Jade suggests. Matuna looks at you curiously, and you're not sure how you feel about that. But you like coffee. You can do coffee, and that's just beans and water. Something like that could be okay, if it's not been mixed in with something else.
Maybe.
You say uncertainly. Do you mind swapping in for a narrator?
Yeah.
Jade gets to her feet and leads you out of the dorm and down the hall to hers. She opens the door and lets you inside, shutting it as soon as you come in. She walks to her fridge and opens it, crouching down so you can look over her shoulder and see everything. You don't need to eat any of this, and the idea of eating anything dead or anything that had to die for it makes you feel not good.
I think,
Jade says quietly as she closes the fridge.
that maybe you're dealing with what I deal with sometimes.
You're not sure what she means. Jade stands up and looks at you carefully, her bright green eyes almost glowing behind her glasses.
I like it here. I really do. Everything is so much different from where I was from, and that's good a lot of the time, but sometimes it gets too much. There's so much going on, so many different things, and it's good. I like it. But I catch myself doing things to sort of control it. Like only desserts or only stuff I had at home. But even then, it can be different. It's a lot being completely new in a completely different place.
Jade says softly. I don't want to find out something died after I've already. Ugh. You shudder a little, still creeped out by it. Angels don't need to eat. You're not from this plane, so it's weird for you. Jade leads you to her room and opens the door. Your jaw drops as you go inside. It's nothing like your room. There's a little path in the middle, but every wall is covered in plants, all growing towards the middle like gravity and space is all wrong. There's a little cloud and a ball of light that wander around the room.
These are all plants from my island. I grew everything in here, but I'm not supposed to be doing this, so don't tell any of the teachers or staff, okay? But look, right from one of my plants. I grew this whole thing from seed. It's just a fruit. Nothing died. The plant is still alive too. See?
Jade says, plucking a pear from a miniature tree that's still growing several different fruits. Your friend grew this, gave it to you. It's fine. You trust her. You bite into the pear and buzz with delight at how great it is. It's juicy and fresh and real in a way that you can't quite describe. Even better is how Jade seems happy to see that she fixed your problem, or at least that she helped. She takes a couple more of the same fruit, and you find yourself a little relieved that you don't have to try another new one, as much as you like this. You hadn't really thought of it like this, but everything is kind of a lot right now. Maybe it was all just getting to be too much.
You can have whatever you like whenever you want, okay? You can let yourself in whenever you want something to eat.
Jade tells you, and holds out a couple extra pears that she picked for you. Anything? You ask curiously, and put them in your void, since you're still eating the first one.
Yeah, I'd say maybe ask to check it. I'd say maybe ask or check that something is ripe if you can't tell by looking at it, but everything here is good to eat.
She nods.
No forbidden fruit?
You ask, grinning around your pear as you take another bite.
Nah, screw that. It's a forbidden garden technically, since I'm not supposed to do this in my room, but it's not forbidden to you.
Jade laughs and leads you out of the room.
Thank you for this. I mean, I know I'm...
You trail off. You're weird. You're not the friend they're hoping you'll suddenly be again. You're a bad angel and a poor imitation of a human, or cankry, or signless.
You don't have to be normal for me, Carcat. We're all weird here. Literally all of us.
Jade reminds you.
It doesn't feel like that, but you appreciate it anyways. The two of you go back to Dave and Solix's dorm, and you let them think that Jade got these pears through entirely normal means, that they were in her fridge, or innocently in a fruit bowl in her dorm. You don't mention the secret plants in her room. Even so, it seems like your friends are happy to see you eating. You don't need to eat, but clearly they think that the energy from a few pears is going to help you somehow. You doubt it, but it's kind of nice to eat when they do, to be part of it.
Aw,
Right?
it's very cute.
He's so cute. I love them.
He's so cute.
You're so sweet.
It's like I just want to be a part of things.
Right? Want to be included, want to have family. Those bonds, those blood connections.
He wants connections, Your Honor. And by golly, he's gonna fucking get him.
One way or another.
Yes.
Oops.
Alright, break time.
Break time.
Break time.
Wonderful. We'll be
Alright.
back, oh gosh. Usually we've magically ended at a 15, so I don't have to think about any kind of math. Let's say we'll be back around 03 of the next hour.
Sounds good to me.
Wonderful. Talk to you soon, hon.
Talk to you soon. Goodbye, goodbye.
Bye.
Heyo. Did you hear,
Yeah.
like, water sounds on that last song?
I don't think so.
I was getting, like, it felt like all of the keys pressing were, like, pressing into a piano that was full of water.
Kind of a vibe, though.
Kind of a vibe. We are back.
It's Aaron trying to seduce you, playing a waterlogged piano.
Oh no. That does feel like him, some him
Huh,
shit.
I thought you liked it when I played piano.
What was that?
I said, Caw, I thought you liked it when I played piano.
Oh, yeah. Carl, don't you find this relaxing? Let me soothe you to sleep, Carl.
Let me soothe you.
If there's anything we all know about Eridan, it's that he's extremely soothing and chill to be around. What could go wrong?
Okay. I can think of many things.
Only many, not all. He must be doing something right.
All the things are going wrong. All of them.
All of them.
All of them.
What's going wrong? All the things. I don't know if now is a great time for that meme. All the things.
All the things.
I'm thinking I'll stick with being narrator for a bit since you got a lot.
Aye, Capitan.
Capitan. That can't be Unda. People wouldn't tell lies on the internet.
What did Unda say?
They said people are going on the internet and telling lies, I hear. Scandalous rumors.
Scandalous. No one would ever tell a lie on the internet.
Never.
Not ever. All right. We ready?
Ready.
I can get my water bottle to balance. Stay. All right.
I'm picturing various increasingly silly trying to balance a water bottle, like what the bottle could look like.
Just like trying to imagine various ways of balancing a water bottle on things in just increasingly ridiculous ways.
Yep.
Amazing, as you should, as you should.
Thank you, thank you.
Aren't you being the narrator? I'm confused.
It starts with Dave. Doesn't it? Oh, am I on the wrong chapter?
Am I on the right one?
Huh. No, I think I'm on the right.
Chapter 6, I thought.
We just did 6.0. It was part of 5.2.
Oh, sorry. This says 6.2.
So you should go to 6.1.
Oh, 6.1. Where's 6.1?
Before 2.
Wow, that's helpful. Oh, I found it. We're
Wonderful.
Gucci. That's my bad. I was in the wrong thing.
All good. We have like a big folder of like actives. And maybe I should make a folder of like, this is what we're doing today, just so it's easy to find things. Might as well. Future things. So many future things.
Just sometimes I'm bad at finding stuff. I'm notoriously bad at finding things. I could never be a Hufflepuff. I say, even though I am in fact a Hufflepuff.
Mood. I lose things all the time.
Okay. So, good news. We talked to the admin people about your whole deal.
Dave starts off, thankfully not talking to you with his mouth full. My situation, you add.
The massive situations, circumstances, and other fuckeries that you're stuck in. Yeah, those are the ones. We talked about them and said that you'd be supervised in your classes by one of us. They weren't cool with letting Matuna be your support person or whatever.
Dave goes on. I did make a point about accessibility and prejudice against demons, especially after the whole Red Glare affair. Rose adds, sounding annoyed at the mere mention of it.
That'd go well. She fucking owned him once already.
Matuna snorts.
Right, but it's whatever, because you only had one class without us, and that's a whole non-issue after the
Dave falters, visibly panicking.
murder crows that are all around the building, so classes are canceled.
Who got murdered? You ask after a moment. Dave, you are the worst at keeping secrets, Rose says in dismay.
My mouth goes faster than my brain,
Dave says defensively. We know, dude. We know, Jude sighs.
Why are you keeping secrets at all?
You ask them a little sharply. It didn't seem like it was a good idea to tell you until it was relevant, Rose tells you gently, and you bristle at her words.
Hey. Oh, wait,
Solix
sorry.
said,
That was Dave.
eh,
That was my Dave voice. 1 second. Hey.
Yeah.
Solix says, and smacks you on the arm to get your attention.
I didn't tell you about every crime that went on near where we live, especially not the ones that went down when we weren't even here. We've been checking everything out. It's safe. If I thought there was shit you might need to actually fight or defend against, then I would have said something. Besides, if they weren't going to let you go to class, then it wasn't going to come up.
What does me going to class have to do with it?
You question him sharply.
He was the teaching assistant for the class. Creepy guy, but he didn't deserve that. It doesn't seem to be connected to anything, and the class isn't running now, so you're not going to be there on your own. There's a lot to look into. I'm handling it, okay?
Solix tells you.
What did you think I was going to do?
You snap.
You remember Latula, right?
Matuna chips in.
Well, that was different.
You mutter.
If I thought it was a real threat or actually something you need to know for going back to class, I would have said. You get into enough chaos just going to the library.
Solix says and rolls his eyes. You don't like this. Your friend's keeping stuff from you and your cosmesis holding back on you. But, he sounded honest just then, and you are a little off balance right now.
Fine, but since Dave's already said, can you just keep... go on.
You say, and look back to Dave.
Sorry, man. We just didn't want to hurt you.
Dave says, with a quiet kind of red pity in his tone. It'd be easier to be annoyed at them if you didn't like them this much.
So they're willing to let you audit your classes without having to worry about work and grades. Rose managed to make the argument that it was good for your rehabilitation or some shit like that. You can do the work if you want, but you don't have to. Aside from that one class, you always had to at least one of us in a class with you, so we can just explain stuff for you.
Dave finishes, and at least he doesn't say that they're supervising you.
Fine, I guess.
You sigh. You more or less drop out of the conversation after that. You understand that everyone is trying to help, but it just leaves you excluded. You don't like people talking over your head like you can't understand things. You're not fully happy with any of them. Jade made her point about how you're going through a lot, so you can guess she was thinking the same thing. June already told you that she was worried about you flipping out and going all holy wrath on people. You don't like that, but you've already had that conversation. Sitting on the sofa, you feel pretty shitty. It feels like a well-worn feeling, and if you listen, you can trace the path of it back. A little lecturing tone inside of you, a voice confident that you don't know best about anything, you should do what you're told. You hate it, and it makes you angry. You're angry at people keeping things from you. You're angry that you're angry about it. You feel stupid for feeling that way, and it's a horrible little cycle that you don't want to be in at all. You don't want to leave, partly because you want to be here, but also because if you leave, then someone will follow. That'll be worse. Above you, there's a hammock suspended from the ceiling. When you look at it just right, you can see traces of Solix's magic on it. He spends time up there. Honestly, it sounds better than this. You jump up there, shifting your form as you get into it, and tuck yourself into the angry, smaller form that suits your shitty mood right now.
Did he just...
Dave asks from down there.
I wouldn't if I were you, not in that shape.
Matuna warns him.
You said angels do birds, so, like, I can do snake forms. I wasn't looking, though. Do different forms mean different things? Because he's not hurt.
Solix asks. The inside of your chest chants about how horrible you are.
If you want to get bit, then stick your hand in there. Sure, fuck around and find out.
Matuna says flatly.
Duck around and find out? Wait, no, he seems bigger than that.
Dave rambles, and everyone ignores that. At the very least, your friends go back to talking about other things. It gives you enough time to shift your focus inwards. What the fuck is your problem? You demand, peering through the rings that keep Cankry in.
Your supposed friends are trying to look out for you, and you're acting ungrateful as you always do. You're impossible.
Cankry lectures at you. You hate that tone. I don't care what you think, you snap, and Cankry gives you a flat and disbelieving look with his featureless eyes. You don't even like any of them, you argue.
They're an affront to God, yes. Yet you're still behaving like a petulant brat. I tried so hard to make you better, and you'd always get like this.
Cankry argues. People who love me shouldn't talk over my head. Maybe you don't get that because no one ever loved you. You snarl. You feel like you're losing this. The more you argue, the more he wins.
It's not even slightly true. But yet again, you're resorting to incorrect emotional arguments. Maybe if people could trust you to be rational, then they wouldn't have to treat you like this. If you tried to be better, then things could be better. But here you are.
Cankry says tartly. Shut up! Just shut up! You snap. This isn't helping. You've got him locked up in rings, but he's the one running rings around you. You pull back so it's just your thoughts in your miserable head. Tucking your face under your wing, you wait and hope the feeling will pass, but it doesn't seem like it's going to. After some time, Rose peeks into the hammock, and your feathers fluff up defensively at having your space invaded. You hate that she lied to you, that she thought she could just judge what to keep from you. She's not even your moirail, so she doesn't get to make that call. Instantly, you feel awful for thinking that, and worse when you reflexively hiss at her for trying to reach in to get you. Sorry, I'm going back to our dorm. I'll see you later, I hope, Rose says quietly, and leaves. The rest of your friends go, you hear Matuna teleport away, and you're left to marinate in your own shitty feelings. Eventually, and you do mean after several hours, the feeling fades enough that you feel the need to drag yourself out of it with some other distraction. Dave is watching TV, and you heard Solix get in the shower about 5 minutes ago. You squirm forward in the hammock thing and poke your head out of the hammock to look at him. Dave hasn't noticed you, and he's watching TV, and also writing in a notebook with a textbook next to it, somehow managing to juggle both tasks at once. You'd like to know what he's watching, and what he's working on. You'd definitely like those things better than feeling awful up here, at least. You squirm a little further forward and lower your head down some more. The movement must catch Dave's peripheral vision, because he jerks his head up to look at you, fumbling his pen across the coffee table in alarm.
Holy fuck. You're...
Dave kneels and reaches a hand up towards you. When you don't bite him, he touches the underside of your head and your neck a little.
You know what? This makes so much sense. Mom's house is on a river, so I know my birds, and the fact that angry angel bird form is murder swan makes so much sense. Regular ass swans have enough rage to break a man's arm, so like, damn, that makes sense.
Dave says in awe and slowly gets to his feet. Dave peers at you, looking your alternate form over and craning his neck to see your avian body that's still in the hammock.
It's wild that you can shapeshift like this. I really hope you can change back, though. I mean, it's one thing to be all, but would you love me if I was a worm meme at someone? That's funny and all, but like, I'm not Zeus. Having one of us be a swan isn't really gonna work. Wait, did Zeus fuck a swan or did he fuck someone as a swan? Actually, it's Zeus, so he's probably done both. Either way, swan boyfriend probably isn't gonna work forever.
Dave rambles. Fuck this form that doesn't have the power of speech, and you need that now. You flail out of your form and back into your default humanoid one. Unfortunately, you land on Dave in the process, and the pair of you crash to the floor. Boyfriend? You ask, as soon as you have the mouth to do it.
It's so much. Just, I need to be able to talk right now.
Right now!
This week isn't doing it for me.
No. Need mouth for kisses.
Have you ever been, boys, have you ever been so gay that you transform out of your swan form just so you can yell boyfriend at a cute boy
A cute boy.
after landing on him?
Hell yeah.
Boys, is it gay?
Sounds pretty gay, my dude. Congrats.
Oh my goodness. Ah, fuck. I was supposed to be waiting, but I don't like time telling me what to do. Also, it's you. How can I possibly say no for this long? I'm only human.
Dave babbles, looking you over in a way that suggests his self-control is either waning or has gone completely. Cool, you love this. You cling to Dave and kiss him like it's all you've ever wanted to do for your whole life. It's not the only thing that you've ever wanted to do, but given how much of your life you remember, it's actually a pretty significant chunk of it. Dave has zero objections to this. He doesn't even answer when Solix calls out to him.
Was that car cat falling to get out of the hammock?
Failing.
Oh, failing. I can't read. What's up? I'm Jared, I'm 19, and I never learned how to fucking read. Was that car cat failing to get out of the hammock?
Solix asks, getting no answer because Dave is very busy. Thanks. You hear a sigh, then a puff of displaced air as Solix teleports. He says,
Nice.
and then he's gone again. Dave's hand slips up under your sweater, only for him to pause and then pull back from you.
Dude, are you wearing the sexy strapless superhero outfit under here?
Dave asks, and pulls your sweater up. I guess my clothes went back to normal under there. I stopped paying attention, probably. You shrug.
I love the fact that he calls it the sexy strapless superhero outfit.
Yep. He is a man
I
of
guess
taste
he's not
and
wrong, but
culture.
cool.
He says absent-mindedly, his hands running over your waist as if to feel the magical fabric there. I can take it off if you don't like it. This isn't from my wardrobe either. It's a magical replica. You explain, tugging on the neck of your sweater and turning it 3 different random colors before putting it back into its default state again.
I don't want you to think that I'm against you taking your clothes off, but we should probably not. I'm trying not to have things go too fast here.
He tells you gently, but his hand is still under your sweater anyway. Too fast? You repeat.
Yeah, like...
Dave does take his hand back and sits up to continue talking, moving his hands around as he does.
There's kind of a scale of intensity or importance to being with someone. Dating them and baking out, all the way to sex stuff, and then I guess marriage, a house, a picket fence, and a dog or something. So it's not that I don't want to see you naked, because, yeah, but I want to...
Angels have that too. It's probably not the same, but there's levels of seriousness for every relationship. Intensity, whatever.
You point out.
Right, like how you and Solix are demon married.
Dave says with a grin, and you hear Solix walk back in the room just then. In fact, you bet Dave said that just because Solix walked in.
That's definitely what we are. We don't have a dog, though.
You smile. A flash of pitch hate flashes over Solix's face, and instead of being weird about the whole permission thing, he decides to one-up you. Finally.
I want a hellhound, not a dog. Maybe a stupid SUV and a picket fence, too. I've got a lifestyle I'm accustomed to, Carcat. You got to maintain that.
Solix says tauntingly.
Yeah, I'm looking at it.
You say, looking pointedly at the hammock and the rest of their shared dorm.
I feel like I got caught in the crossfire of that burn.
Dave mutters. Solix pets his hair as he walks past and sits down on the sofa.
Anyway, so I need to not be as excited about you as I am.
You conclude.
Oh, hey, no, I love the excitement. I'm also excited. I still can't believe that you like me back. But I've never dated anyone before, not counting diamonds. So I want to enjoy it, right? I want to sweep you off your feet, you know? All the romance shit.
Dave says in an eager rush.
Romance?
You whisper.
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah.
Dave agrees ever so softly. You can see your halo reflected in his sunglasses.
You're so cute.
You're so cute. It dims as an unpleasant feeling steals over you, and Dave's expression shifts to one of concern.
How far did you get with me before all of this? What were things with you and him like?
You ask.
You are him.
Solix cuts in to say.
Also, it was basically this. I'm not going to say that I'm not comparing, but it's more that I'm worried that I'm going ahead with this when you're not healed enough yet.
Dave says, trying to reassure you. Is he still going to feel that way if you don't get better at all, though? You'll be competing with the you that was. That can't be good.
See, that's another reason to be chill about this and take our time. It'd suck if you got sad about that if we kept on like we were, right? We've got all the time we want. It's cool.
Dave tells you. It is reassuring to hear, but you feel like you've spoilt the mood. Forever getting in your own way, aren't you? Luckily, Solix has decided that he wants to watch a movie with the two of you. Both of them are happy to explain the context of it as you go, and the sofa is warm and comfortable to sit on. You even find where someone had neatly folded the lovely scarf that your grandmother made for you. You put it back on and feel reassured by its presence.
Carcat, my man, sweet thing, beloved, why are you so fidgety?
Dave asks eventually.
I'm not. Am I?
And as you ask that, you feel your shoulder shift and your shoulder blade rub against the back of the sofa. Damn it, now it's worse. You shift, but it's not helping.
Ah.
Solix says slowly.
Context, explanation, exposition.
Dave prompts him.
His wings are bothering him. Are you molting feathers or what? Your dorm had a bunch on the floor this morning. Why are they bugging you again so soon?
Solix asks.
Yeah, well, I didn't get to finish.
You grumble.
I wish my brain didn't interpret what you said like that.
Dave mutters, though you don't get what he means.
Hi, I am a child. Don't mind me snorting a little in the corner.
Hell yeah. Same.
Why not? You weren't doing it when we got there, were you? We didn't interrupt you, right?
Solix wonders.
Kind of, but no, it was. It doesn't matter.
You mutter.
Okay, school the human idiot. What's the problem here? I like birds and I draw and take pictures of the ones at home all the time. Wings take looking after. What's the problem with your wings? Because if it was just that, we'd taken you off to breakfast before you were done, then why wouldn't you just preen them now?
Dave asks. I could, I guess. It's you two here, so it's fine.
You concede.
Huh. Interesting. You were never weird about that before. I didn't know it was a quadrant Oh. Oh, that's why you were asking about humans and quadrants.
Solix's thoughtful expression shifts into a shitty grin.
And you hate him for it.
Oh, so romantic.
So romantic.
Oh, it's private. You can't do it in front of people you're not dating?
Dave guesses.
No, I like her enough that it'd be fine if she was there, but she offered to help.
You say in a strangled voice and put your face in your hands.
And that's pale, or quadrant E at least. You've let me do it before, so either it's just quadrants or you're a hot mess with quadrants, which is also probably accurate.
Solix says with a laugh.
Oh, okay. So Rose basically offered to feel you up without getting that it was like that. I massively don't want to have that conversation with her, so have fun with that.
Dave says and grimaces.
She doesn't know what it means, and she's not pale for me.
You say unhappily, not appreciating the smug look on Solix's face.
Well, if it's okay for us to do, or for you to fix your wings with us around, then don't be all shy about it on our account. Also, if it stops you wriggling around on the sofa like that, I'm all for it.
Dave says flatly.
Sorry.
You apologize. You get the impression that they really are fine with this, so you climb up onto the back of the sofa and unfurl your wings. Solix's attention shifts back to the movie, but Dave is watching you curiously. It's only when you look at him for too long that he goes back to the movie as well.
Ugh, no wonder your wings feel weird. You've bent a few feathers out of place.
You shift your form to having more claws like Solix's, and preen through the feathers as you watch the movie too. Dave's attention keeps flicking back to you when he thinks you're not looking.
Can I feel up your wings?
He asks hopefully, after enough back and forth attention.
I think you might have a different idea about what that means. You can, but it's not.
You're not sure how to phrase this correctly.
It's not like shoving your hands in his pants.
Solix adds, and that's not how you would have said that.
Well, yeah, they're wings, man. It's like your tails. They're sensitive, but it's just that they're personal. It's not like that. Although people are into all sorts of shit. The brain can rewire itself into finding all kinds of places to be. Why am I saying this? I need to stop saying things.
Dave cuts that thought off with a rush of words and a quickly reddening face.
If you let him touch your wings, he might stop talking.
Solix reasons. You stretch a wing towards Dave. Dave hesitantly touches it as you shift to working on the other one. It's like you said, it's personal and nice, but not much more than that. Intimate and nice, because he cares. Dave isn't doing a great job at preening anything for you, but the attention is nice all the same.
Try this.
Solix says after a little while. He reaches across you to the wing that Dave has. His fingers sink through your feathers to the skin beneath, and he scratches and gets at the skin with just the right amount of pressure that makes you sigh happily.
Oh, kind of like a head massage.
Dave says, and manages to replicate it just right. You have no idea what is happening in this movie anymore. You can just about focus on what Dave is doing and trying to preen your other wing.
You've got some pin feathers coming in.
Solix observes after a while. You were already aware of that, but Solix shifts his attention to hunting them down and making those that are ready to unfurl into feathers do so. What movie? You don't know anything about any movie. Dave pulls you to your feet, knocking you out of the mild daze that you'd been in.
You're gonna fall off.
Dave laughs softly and leads you into a room, Solix's room. Solix is clearly more a fan of giant beanbags than he is beds, but that's fine. It's somewhere for you all to fall face down on, and for Dave and Solix to get to the back of your wings for you. This is just so nice. You don't think anyone has ever done this for you. You drift off in a haze of feeling safe and cared about, even when your wings shift up and Dave shimmies under it to cuddle up to your side. Cute. Brace for a tone shift. Maybe I should have done like a content warning on this one. It's fairly short. Everyone, the content warning is now.
The content warning is now. This is Canpri, right?
Yes. It's violence, but it's short.
I'm not... Sorry, 1 second. I need to remember how to gravel.
Yes. Cankry with gravel.
I'm not... Cankry with gravel. I'm not a seraphim.
You point out, looking from the weapon in your hand to the angel around you. Your purpose is clear, one remarks, one of several combat trainers here.
Yes, and it's not to wage a war. It is to more accurately reflect the word of...
You begin.
And the son did that, but even ignoring his more recent habits when he escapes, he was hardly combat prone. You may need to smite people or defend yourself. What would it say if you were destroyed by unholy forces?
Another asks. You don't want this. It's not what you're for, but you're backed into a corner here. She created these angels to train other angels in combat, though you can't say you've ever seen or heard of them before now. Though you suppose that if they train people, they do it privately. If you are worried about how skilled we are, you needn't be. We have a 100% success rate. Every angel we have trained has succeeded in their holy task. Another nods. You want to ask just how many angels they have trained, but it would be impudent to ask something like that. If they are as good as they say, then refusing their training would be sheer arrogance, to assume that you know better than they do. You have no choice. You don't want to do this at all. You make yourself nod anyway, and all the angels nod as one. There is a reason for their training, for the skills they see fit to bestow upon you. You need to know this. It's probably the point that you know this and are then so good at your purpose that you never need to use these skills. You train. You...
Cankry?
Cronus asks, leaning back in his chair to look at you. You falter, your hands shaking slightly on the book that you were putting away. It was one of your bound volumes of your lectures. You've been having Karkat transcribe them in the hopes that something you say will sink in.
I was just thinking of my training.
You finish.
Oh, yeah?
Cronus asks curiously.
She had her personal instructors teach me.
You explain.
Wow, Cam. I've never known anyone personally who got to train with them.
Cronus whistles, clearly impressed. That 100% success rate, well, there's a part of you that would... But you smartly removed it. You do no such thing now.
So, I can train him. You've been putting yourself to the trouble.
You say, and turn to face him.
The kids taught him magic. Well, bits of it anyway.
Cronus adds.
I'm sorry he was so How the fuck do you pronounce that?
Recalcitrant.
Recalcitrant. I'm sorry he was so recalcitrant when you tried, but I'm glad that Eridan has had more luck at least. I suppose their peers are close enough.
You muse.
I can't say I wasn't hoping to put him through his paces with combat training a little, especially after him being like that. Seeing how he gets to you just
Cronus glares at the far wall. He really doesn't like Karkat at all. You're lucky he saw through him to you, showed you who you could be with him removed. Your hope is that with all of this, you can fix Karkat somehow.
don't worry.
You reassure him. Cronus gets up from the chair and walks over to you. He leans down to kiss your temple and murmur a sweet affection of pale pity before leaving. He's leaving you to it, to training Karkat. Perhaps you had better devise a training plan for him. That would be more beneficial than just diving head in. You spend some time working and reworking it until even you have to concede that it's perfect. You get to your feet and go looking for your flawed creation. And that's that.
That's it for today.
For today. We will
For
go
today.
into the rest of this little dream sequence next time.
Yay.
Next time will probably be our last of season 1, so look forward to it. We'll go on break. There's another person who's starting up a streaming schedule for Your Words Destroyed My Planet. And as soon as I get like the YouTube link to them, I'll put it in like our final episodes so you guys can find it if you don't know where to find it. I imagine most of us are, from the Goose server, but links are helpful.
Goose, goose, goose.
Goose, goose, goose.
Link farm. Goose, goose. Honk, honk.
Honk.
It is a beautiful day, and you are a terrible goose.
The goose are honking,
Awesome.
the goose are honking, and geese like you should be honking in hell.
Yes. Also, fun fact, my baby ducks who are getting older, because they haven't quite got their quacks yet, they sound more like honks than quacks.
Cute.
It just sounds like, it's very sweet.
Very sweet. They're sweetlings, as well as ducklings.
My little sweet.
If you wish to see these sick
Although-
ducks, come to the Goose River and get in the fluff zone.
Go to the fluff zone, you'll see ducks.
Ducks! Ducks for days! Wonderful.
And I swear I've had to start holding some of them like heckin' footballs to carry them anywhere. Like, get held like a football, idiot, because you won't
Okay.
stop thrashing.
Get fucking
Fucking
held.
carrying up. Get held.
Cute.
Oh.
Wonderful. Well, everybody take care. Best of luck with all of your projects. Drink
Okay.
soup, drink water.
Soup.
Soup. It is good.
Good soup.
Good soup. Wonderful. Take care.